Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, YouTube, once again to another episode of Prof Sales. So, I'm your host, Prof Sales. This is a show where we talk about all things reselling, Amazon, eBay, all the others, Poshmark, Etsy. I don't know much about those, but you know what? I know enough to get by. So, I'm glad you're here, and hopefully, I can share some of my knowledge. It'll be useful to you. I try to be as open and transparent as possible when I do these shows. And unlike some people that are out there who just only show you the good sides of reselling and side hustles and so on, I try to be very, very honest and open about what we do. I try not to sugarcoat anything, but at the same time, give you, the pros and cons. So, again, glad you're here. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let me know in the chat if you can hear my new microphone okay, because I don't know if it's working properly. So give me a thumbs up if you can. And if so, we'll continue forward. But it is a Tuesday in October 2021, and it is Q4. Lots of things are happening. So I hope that you guys are all doing well, and you're having great sales if you're out there selling on eBay or Amazon, what have you. Again, give me a shout out and hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Let me know I'm doing a good job, and consider subscribing as well, as we always ask. So once again, in the chat, if you guys can hear me, I know there's a few people in there now. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I'm going to type that in there. Can you hear me? Well, I cannot type today, but I'm going to make sure. So if not, I can switch back to my other microphone. But I really like this new one I have. It's called a JLab, and it is really kind of smooth, I think. All right. So what else is going on? Well, let me tell you about today's show topic. So a lot of you know that I've been selling on Amazon for a while now, and I've been using something called AZInsight to help me. And you can probably see some of the data on the screen I have up here. And let me tell you about what AZInsight is. I'm going to stop sharing this page for just a moment. AZInsight is a product of a company called AZInsight, which I will share their page right here. And you can see where that is. I'm going to have a link to this below, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of a heads up on what this is and so on. Let's see if I can find it on there. There it is. And yeah, AZInsight is on the azinsin.com website, and this is their main product. It's one called AZInsight, and this is a great tool to allow you to go in and basically have all the info you need to make a good decision on whether or not a product on Amazon is worth selling. And that is critical when you're doing online arbitrage. For those of you who don't know what online arbitrage is where you have a software, something like Tactical Arbitrage, for instance, that pulls off from a bunch of online websites. Let's just say it's target.com. And it shows you products that maybe you could sell that are selling on Amazon for a markup. And they might be good for you to buy and flip, basically. You're taking advantage of the arbitrage, the difference in prices. Second monster of the day. Monster, if you want to sponsor me, I'm right here for you. But a lot of times that decision is really hard to make, because you might make that decision and say, well, all right, I do want to buy this product. It's a great deal on Target. They're selling it for $10. But what's it selling for on Amazon? Oh, well, it's selling for $30. Okay, well, even after that math, I'll make $10, $11 on it. But will you? Will it sell fast enough? Is that a real price? How much competition do you have? Is it a seasonal item? These are all questions that you need to answer, and you need to answer them quickly, because you can't spend 10 minutes agonizing on every decision before you decide to pull the trigger. So enter a tool like AZInsight. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here so you can see a little bit more about what this cool product looks like. So this product allows you this. It's basically a Chrome extension that you pay. It's a subscription, and you install the Chrome extension, and then anytime you go to an Amazon product page, like you see, I've gone to one here for Nicoderm, and it will show you the info on that page. So where the info is right through here. All this info through here is AZInsight. You would not normally see this if you went to this page. So let's get into what this actually tells us. So the first part that's kind of interesting, I think, about AZInsight in this bubble here is there's a calculator. And you can see right here, there's one for FBM and there's one for FBA. It also tells us that there's 4 offers for FBM and there's 6 offers for FBA. Now, the calculator you see here is a sell price. The sell price, you can configure this to show you whether you want to base this off of the buy box, or you can put your own price in here. Like right now, you see it saying $29.98 for FBA, which is the current buy box, which you can see over here is shown. This particular buy box, it looks like, is owned by Amazon. So, but if we click another number or enter another number, like I could say, well, let me see what the 90 day, not 28, the $28 90-day price is. I can click this and it changed to $28.94, and that will change the math down here. So that is very, very useful to have. Like if you've ever seen the Amazon revenue calculator, that's a whole separate page you can go to on Amazon. Matter of fact, I think it has it on here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. I don't actually ever use anymore because this is so accurate. But it's showing us that if we sold this price for $28.94, we would make a profit of $20.87 after Amazon's fees. Now, that does not include your buy cost. That does not include your fulfillment cost, whatever that looks like. But if you send it in Amazon and it sells for $20.94, you're going to make $20.87 profit on it. So right here, you'll notice there's a buy cost entry where you can enter a buy cost. Now, you can actually enter a formula here if you want. You can enter, well, I paid $10 for this at a 25% discount, but I just like to enter the actual total. So let's say that we paid $10 for it. Now we see the calculation down here changes. This item is a $10.17 profit at a $10 buy cost, assuming it sells for $28.94. That's 102% ROI, margin of 35%. That would be a good buy in my book. I would buy that all day long. But there's more we want to know about this. Now, one thing this calculator gives you as well is the break-even price. So you see here $16.97. If we change to that, notice everything changed. At a $10 buy cost, we would break even. So that tells you, let's go back to our $28.94. That tells you that the price could drop all the way from $28.94 to $16.97 and you would break even on it. That's a good number to know, gang, because if something happens where, like, you know, the price of this really drops really quickly and you just need to sell out on it, you know, you can drop it to that amount and it'll sell. So that's important to know. And then the lowest price that, you know, it's the lowest price that, you know, you can pull off of in the last, I don't remember exactly how many days this is. Oh, it's the lowest FBA price. So the current lowest FBA price, $28.90. So we click that, it changes again to show us what our numbers would be. Calculator is very helpful. Over here, we see historical data. We see a 30, 90, and 180 day information. There's a base sales rank. This sales rank is pretty good, 23K in this category, health and household. It's a pretty good rank. 30,000 is the 90-day rank, 35,000, 180-day rank. So it's actually selling better and better, which maybe is just a Q4 thing, but who knows? BSR drops is how many times the sales rank is dropped in these time frames, which kind of gives you an idea about how many sales there were, but not really, because you see the estimated sales is 920. So you say, well, wait, if the rank is only dropping 57 times in the last 30 days, which indicates a sale, why is there 920 estimated sales? Well, because in this category, at that sales rank, that estimates to calculate out to 920 units. So while this might just be one sale or 57 individual sales, they were selling more than one unit per sale. So that's why you see so many. So, and the buy box numbers we see for the 30, 90, and 180 days, and then the Amazon price for that times too, because Amazon is somebody you're going to be competing with from time to time. So it's kind of interesting to know that. If you go back up here to the top line, it shows you the current info, which is the 32,926 BSR rank and 0.46 of the category. That's the top 0.46. Monthly sales estimate 920. Revenue would be, if you sold that many at this price, it would estimate out to $27,000 in sales. Now, obviously, you're not going to get all the sales, but that's kind of an interesting number to know. One of the things I forgot to talk about up here, which is really important. So these are customizable up here. So I have my restrictions customized up here. This check mark tells me I can sell this item. If this was not green, it would be red, and I could apply to sale right from that check, which is really cool, right from that area. You can go right to, hey, apply to sell this and try to get auto approved, which is awesome. Sell yours just means you go in and make a listing, which can be useful. This product's not a dangerous good, which means it won't go to a dangerous good facility, which that's always good. And this over here is the IP claim clock, for lack of a better word. And it basically tells you if there's been any IP claims that AZInsight knows of that have been reported in the last couple years. And it gives you a rating of how potentially risky it is to sell this item. For instance, like if the brand owner was sending out letters and threatening sellers to sue them if they didn't quit trying to sell their item, that you might see this as a red right here. And it would say, hey, this is risky to jump on this listing. Even though you can sell it, it's kind of risky because the brand owner might come after you. But that's cool to see too. And that can tell you, about some of depending on your tolerance level. Down here, you see what's called their version of Keepa. And I think we can detach this. I don't know. Actually, I don't know that I'll be able to see that now that I think about it, because I don't think it'll show up here, unfortunately. So I can't detach that right now. So I don't know why that went away, because I'm an idiot, I guess. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and put that back on. Multi-view. Yeah, I don't know why that went away. All right, let me try this again. Let me refresh the page. Maybe that'll make it come back. Yeah, so that's just basically like their version of Keepa. You can also have Keepa on your pages too, just like normal, and use that. And you can see the amount of time this takes to list and so on, or to load. It's not too bad. Sometimes it's quicker to pull this up, a bunch of different, and if you're pulling up a whole bunch of these, you can pull up a whole bunch, then come back as they load. There we go. Yeah, so this just shows you, just like Keepa, it's got, your sales, basically all the times that people came on this listing. It looks like they all came around in this high 20s, number. So this price is probably close. It's $29.98. The sales rank got a little worse in the last, month or so, but still not too bad. So that's kind of interesting. You can change that to 365 days. You can change to 60 days, whatever time frames you want down here, and so on. There's also some other tabs up here I wanted to cover real quick. Variations. I'll show you this with a shoe one here in a moment. It'll probably make a little more sense, but this can show you like suppressed variations, like shoe sizes and colors. This comes in really handy. How much they're selling for. So we'll get to that in a moment. And then the stock checker, which the stock checker shows you all the people that are have this item currently for sale and their quantity. So their quantity tells you, how quickly they will sell out. Now, Amazon's got a lot, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Amazon's got at least 1,000 quantity. But you can also look and see how much they've been selling it for. And Amazon shares the buy box with sellers. It's not like they always keep it for themselves. So you will get the buy box with Amazon, assuming you have good ratings. But it also shows you the sales ratings of other people who were on this listing. The conditions are selling, delivery date, that's usually going to be free delivery because it's FBA, seller type, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And there's filters you can pull up with this. You can create filters to change this. You can move these columns around. You can configure the columns. You can put the ones you want in there, take out the ones you don't want. Like I don't really need stock limit. So I'm going to take that one out. And yeah. So that's the stock checker. It also has up here the FBA total quantity of 8 and the FBM total quantity 24. And then, of course, Amazon's quantity. And there's also a lot of settings here. I'm not going to go through all these right now. I might do a separate one just on AZInsight. But there's a lot of cool stuff you can do here, guys. You can export all of these items like to a Google Sheet that's customizable by you put in what columns you want, what info you want. Use that to create a buy list if you want. All kinds of stuff. So it is really a good tool. There's quick links right here. Like you could see stuff like you could go to eBay and open up an eBay title search, and it would tell you if eBay was on it, or which ones are on eBay really quickly. So you don't have to go type this in on eBay. It's like, oh, these might be it. And you go through and check just see if eBay's got around similar prices. It looks like eBay's got similar prices. Like there's $31.99. So this seems to be the price of this item. So that's good to see. Amazon might actually be cheaper on this item than eBay, and that's not common. But yeah, so that's one for kind of a basic health and household item. Let's look at another one for shoes. So this is Nike Men's Court Vision Low Black Royal. Now, by the way, I've sold these items I'm showing you. I'm not selling them currently, but I have sold them in the past. So that's how I'm pulling some of these up. I don't currently have any inventory of them, but I just wanted to show you kind of what, ones I was kind of familiar with. The Zen graph. I cannot think of that in a moment, but yeah, this is the Zen graph down here. That's what you hide or keep. So shoes are different. Shoes have a lot of variations, and some variations sell really well and some don't. So like, for instance, this particular shoe is a low black / royal or the colors, and we'll choose a 10.5 as the size. I mean, this just looks like your standard Amazon screen. And then that'll pull up and it'll start changing the data up here. It'll pull in, what it is for what did we choose? A 10.5, and show you the data. So you see this particular one, it's keying off of the current buy box at $94.50. which is ships from Amazon, sold by this particular seller, Splendid Options. And that would net a profit of $71.28. So if we were paying, say, $50 for this shoe, now I've got my sales tax figured here in custom costs. You don't have to do that. You can turn that off, or you can just never create one, or you can put in special costs. Like maybe you're paying people to prep and ship for you, and like each unit's costing you, 40 cents of prep cost, 50 cents, $1, whatever it is. But this particular shoe, if you were able to buy it for $50 and sell it for $94.50, the current price, you would make a ROI of 36%. You would net $17.78. You can see with that net why people sell shoes on Amazon. It's a pretty good gig, but there's a downside of this. So this particular one, the parent ASIN of these shoes has a pretty good BSR of 196K, but this particular size is a 348, which is not as good. So while it will sell, it's only selling, the estimate here is about 24 per month. That's not a lot of sales in my book. And if we look at the stock checker, let's see if anybody's got this. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of quantity. Now this particular stock checker is going to look a little different because there's so many people on this one compared to the one we saw. But you can see there's 11 FBA and there's 15 total quantity. Excuse me, it looks like it's going up. It looks like the FBM total quantity is going way up. There's somebody on this with a tremendous amount. Yep, there's somebody that says they have 470 of these. I don't know. They could, but they're trying to sell them at $118.99, considering the buy box is at $94.50. That's probably why they're not selling them. So, hey, be a fashionista. If you're out there and you're listening and you truly have 470 pairs of this shoe, you need to lower your price. You're never going to sell them. So, but what's interesting here is like you see this. This is what I was talking about, where Amazon is kind of interesting how they do things. So, who is in the buy box splendid option? Yeah, they might. I don't even see them on here. They should be on here somewhere. Maybe it's not loaded totally. It's possible. Yeah, the buy box, there's some people with a lower price here, and I don't see them in the buy box. Oh, wait, it's still loading. That's what's going on. Okay, so, but you see that this person right here is Ever Onward Store. Now, it looks like Ever Onward Store. See how they're on this 4 different times with 4 different quantities? So whoever the seller is may have created 4 different listings. Let's see if that's in fact what they did. And maybe those, I don't even know if they're on here or not. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe for some reason it's not showing those right now. Oh, there's one of them. Ever Onward with 2. Yeah. This is taking a while to load because there's a lot of people on this shoe. Ever Onward. Yep, there's another one at 93.21. See, this person, they kind of made a mistake when they were making this listing, or they were sending this in. They probably kept saying, hey, don't use my M SKU from last time. Create a whole new listing. So now it looks like they're selling it 4 different times. None of which, by the way, are in the buy box, probably because their seller rating is only 80%. That's really not good. And so Amazon's not even giving the buy box, even though you notice this 88.23 is quite a bit lower than this 94.50. But Amazon also looks at your rating. So this is interesting, but this is the kind of information you can get from using this tool, because you can see like, all right, well, yeah, this person's a lot lower in price than I want to sell this shoe for, but they're a lot lower seller rating, so I probably won't have them directly as competition. Whereas instead, it's right now giving the buy box. These 6 people are basically all the same price. And the only thing that's a little concerning is this person is only 76% seller rating. I don't know if they'll get the buy box or not, if Amazon might be rotating it, but they might not. But this is the kind of information that this tool can give you, and you can make great decisions about it. So variations in general on these shoes is going to be a lot, because if you think about it with a shoe, sometimes you've got multiple colors of the same shoe, and you've got multiple sizes. Every size color combination is a variation. So say you've got like a run of like 10 different sizes and you have 6 different colors, that's in each size. So it's 60 variations. That's quite a bit. The variation pages showed on this particular one, there's 11 variations, because it's all the same color. It's just different sizes. And the average price, $100.53. That's good for us that we know that. Like if the average price was like 75, this price might be a little suspect at $94.50. It's like, well, that's a lot more than the average. Why is that particular variation for so much? And it could be. There's other stuff you can see here too. You can refresh the data if you've been on this page for a while. You can go in and quick copy this info. You can export it to a CSV or to a Google Sheet, which is great. You can set up a Google Sheet like I mentioned earlier and just throw all this stuff on there very, very quickly. You don't have to copy and paste. There's advanced filters. It looks like none of these are suppressed, the out of stock or the in stock, which is great. They're all available. And you can see that, like, you can see here all the info on these various variations. So you can see, for instance, the UPC, there isn't any for this shoe. The sales rank for each size is very similar. So it looks like the parent ASIN is just blending over into a lot of the child ASINs here with the rank. The price, which if it has a shipping cost, it just adds that together to give you a landed cost. That's what the landed one means, and so on and so forth. So that's a shoe, which as you can see, has a lot of different complexity to it. Shoes are kind of tricky. Lastly, I'm going to look at this Columbia one. This is a hoodie. And this also has a decent amount of variation because you can have, a lot of different sizes in this, but not a crazy amount. You've also got some different colors. Sorry, somebody just rang my doorbell. I think that's a package showing up. And yeah, so this particular hoodie doesn't really seem to have a great sales rank. When you look at the sales rank, that's kind of high for clothing. Top 0.6 sounds like it'd be great, but it's not that great because you can see that particular one would only be selling, maybe one a month, which is nothing. But I believe I had a slightly different one. Did I have the extra large? Did I have the gray? The extra large. Okay. So on this particular one, I think the key size was not extra large. It was like medium or something. And again, the tool kind of helped out here. So if we go to, we're going to show, let's do this. We're going to use the filter here. If I can wrap my head around this. Yeah, so we're going to turn off that. I'm going to use the Black City Gray. And you're going to see that a lot of these are around the same rank. Maybe it wasn't Black City Gray. Maybe it was a different color. Maybe it was the City Heather Gray. There was one of these that had a much better rank than the others. I don't know why. Well, it's escaping right now. This is what happens when you get old. But this particular one doesn't sell as often. So that can be a little bit of a turnoff to a lot of sellers. But when you use the tool, you see, yeah, it's not really selling very often. But I think I bought this jacket at I want to say it was $19.99. And so it made, almost 100% around 100% ROI. And I also noticed when I went to sell it, oh, maybe it changed. Maybe it was I feel like it was an extra large. Nope, that's not it. That should change to 88. I'm not sure what it's saying. Oh, I see what it's saying, 56. So yeah, I don't remember the exact color I got, size I got. Maybe it was a medium. It could have been a medium. But when I looked at the tool, or when I got home and I got this back, I went, there wasn't anybody else selling it. So that's how you can kind of know, like when you check the stock checker and you can look and see how many people are selling it, there weren't a lot of people selling it. So I don't know, like if you use this tool, I think you'll be able to make some really good decisions based around, whether or not something is worth selling. It's an easy, quick decision when you see all this data, because you can see really quick, because the price lures a lot of people in with this stuff. Like, when you go back over here to the Nike shoe and you see, well, it's $94, but is it really selling that often? Well, it's selling a little bit, and there's a few people on it. So you're going to have to get through some of them. And are you going to be able to get the buy box or not? Is there a seasonality to it? Keepa does a really good job of that, where you can see, let me see if I've got one that's got a better Keepa. This one will probably have a better Keepa track. So this one's been on Amazon for 3,861 days. So you can see like the Keepa history of this over time. And this period where you see like this color right here, that is when Amazon is on the listing. If you turn that off, you see it goes away. We put it back, goes away. We put it back. But if you look at this, like this price is kind of wavering between all these bands. So about 35 to down here, sometimes low is about 19, 20. But for the most part, in the last year, you can see a lot of the price, there was some periods of 20 right here with FBA. Then a lot of the time it's up here around $30. So you can probably bet that this price on this particular item, because you've got all these tools to look at, same thing here, is not going to drop below $28, $29, $30. So, if you're buying this item for, say, let's say you buy it for $11 all in, you're making $9.98 profit. That's a good profit on $11 spend. It would have to drop dramatically for you to lose money. In fact, you break even at that price, 18.23. It's never really been down at 18.23. I mean, it might have gotten close through here a couple times, but for the most part, it's never been down there. So you're going to make money on it. It's just a matter of how much money. And these tools like AZInsight really give you a good way to find it. So check out AZInsight if you get a chance. Again, you can go to AZInsight. I don't have an affiliate link right now. I plan on getting one, to be honest. It's a great tool, and I use it every single day with OA. And I hope that was helpful. And if you've never done OA, hit me up on Facebook or send me a message here through YouTube, whatever floats your boat, and I'll be glad to help out if I can and try to walk you at least through some of the basics. I'm not an expert, but I know just enough to get myself in trouble. All right, so thanks, guys, for watching. I'm going to keep it short and sweet today, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.